Hey guys, it's Kara from iStampin.com. Thanks for joining me for another one of my Create a Card Mondays. Today's card is a really fun summary card using the Fresh Fruit stamp set, and I wanted to show you the product suite, and I hope this helps you. I like showing you where it is in the catalog just so that it's easier to refer to. This is on, you can find the fruit stand suite here on pages 148 and 149. So you can see all of the images that come in that really super cute Fresh Fruit stamp set, but we're also going to be using the Fruit Stand Designer Series paper. And this is a great card if you have a lot of scraps. The paper is anywhere from an inch to 3/4 of an inch wide and just a little bit shorter than the size of this card. So like I said, it's great for using up scraps. And I'm going to show you some tips on how to extend the paper for some reason if you didn't cut it long enough. So it's a fun card. It has some masking. I'm going to show you how I did that. There are multiple steps, a little bit more steps than what I normally make, but it's an easy card to make, and I think you will enjoy it. So let me go ahead and show you the products that we're going to be using today to make this card. I've got 4 stamp pads, actually 5. I'm missing one. Where is that 5th one? It's around here. Oh, here we go. There we go. So now we've got all the colors. So you're going to need Soft Suede, Pear Pizzazz, Peekaboo Peach, Watermelon Wonder, and our basic black ink. And then you're going to start off with a Pear Pizzazz note card, and this is just the regular A2 size card. So this measures 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. And then I've just cut these strips, and I'll give you the dimensions as I go on, as we start putting them down. So you're going to need the DSP, the Designer Series paper. Then you're going to need a strip of Watermelon Wonder, Peekaboo Peach, and then just to finish it off, we're going to be using some basic black baker's twine, and then one of our tea lace paper doilies. And this style had actually changed for our new catalog, so this is a little bit different. So I think that's it, and then just your regular snail and dimensionals. Okay. So like I said, I've already given you the dimensions on how to cut the card base. And one last thing I did forget, but I'll tell you right now when I get to it. So I just like to take a bone folder and burnish that score mark just to give it a good crease. You will need a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this measures 3 by 4. Now I will tell you, after I did the stamping, I did cut this left side down just a tad. You can, if you kind of have the same problem where you have a little too much white space on one side, you can trim that down. So the first thing that we're going to do is ink up the pear image, and then we're going to make a mask so that we can stamp the strawberry and peach where it gives it the appearance of that they're both behind the pear. And it's super easy to do. So let me get out my Pear Pizzazz ink and just ink that up. And just so you know, I used this stamp set for the first time yesterday, and when I went to go stamp, it had some distressed marks, and I thought there was something wrong with my stamp set, but now I had to look at the picture in the catalog to realize that it's meant to have that distressed look. So don't worry when you use the stamp set if that happens. Okay, so what I've done here is I've made a mask of the pear, and how you go about doing that is you stamp this on just a scratch piece of paper and you cut it out using your scissors. This was actually really easy to cut out, so you shouldn't have any problems. And I'll get a little bit closer for this. So and then you can just keep this mask. You can just place this in the stamp pad and use it for future keep it for future uses, and then you don't have to keep remaking a mask. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the strawberry. Get out Watermelon Wonder. And if you look at the sample, the strawberry's on its side. So ink it up. And I'm just going to, ideally, if you get like the full-size Post-it sheets, or I think Inkadinkado has full-size masking sheets that are actually sticky, that would work great. Okay, so see how it gives that appearance that it's just tucked right behind there? Okay, and then I'm going to get out the peach now, and we're going to do this in Peekaboo Peach. Stamp that in Peekaboo Peach, perfect color. And ink that up. And I'm just going to get a scratch piece of paper, because I think the same thing's going to happen where I'm going to have more white space on the left side than I do on the right side. Okay, so again, just place your mask there. And then just go ahead and stamp your peach. And there you have it, very simple. So the next thing we can do is come in with Pear Pizzazz again, and we are going to stamp the leaf image for the pear, or excuse me, for the peach in Pear Pizzazz. And we're going to want to clean this off because we're going to use soft suede to stamp the pear stem. Okay, so we're done with that stamp. And then let's just get the strawberry cap leaf, and we'll put that, I stamped that in Pear Pizzazz. There we go. So there's our little images, and then I'm going to go ahead and do thank you again. So I've got that mounted up, and I'm going to stamp that in our basic black. Now I like to do the stamping first, just so that this can dry. The archival ink does take a little bit longer to dry, so just put this off to the side and then we can start working on the paper strips. I don't want to do all this work and then get our sentiment to smear. So there you go, look how cute that is. And then once this is dry, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing where I'm just going to cut off just a little bit on the left side, just so there's not so much white space. Okay, so we are done with all of our stamping. So go ahead and move that over here. And then you can see here that, whoops, you can see here what I've done is I've just taken the papers and layered them on top of one another. So some, the cardstock is underneath some of the designer series paper, and then some's on top. So this is easy to do. Let's see, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take our Peekaboo Peach cardstock, and I'm using our banner triple punch, and I'm just going to notch both ends. This measures 3/4 of an inch by 4 3/4. So what I like to do is just turn it upside down, and then you just want to place it in here, and then just make sure that you've got it even. And once you do that, just go ahead and punch. Then you've got your banner edge, and then just do the exact same thing on the other side. And this is the only paper that we're notching, so we're done with the punch. Okay, so that's going to go about there. I kind of like to place all this stuff down here first. Okay, so I know that the Watermelon Wonder strip is going to extend across, and this is 3/4 of an inch wide also, and about 4 inches. But I want to make sure that my panel is, that the strip is going to peek out on both sides. So I think that looks good. All right, so let's go ahead and adhere this down. So I'm just using snail for this. And I'm not gonna, I'm just gonna lightly attach this to the card, because if I need to adjust it or if I need to tuck paper underneath it, I don't want it to be permanently down where the cardstock may rip. And so this is from the Fruit Stand Designer Series paper. This is that cute little strawberry pattern, but I wanted the stripes to show. So I'm just going to have that go right on top of the Watermelon Wonder cardstock, but I want it to be flush to the left, just like that. So go ahead and put snail on this, and just make sure that you are laying it on the cardstock straight. Like that. Okay, and then this is another piece of the Designer Series paper, the cute little lemons on one side and the apples on the other. This measures 3/4 of an inches long by 5 inches. So I don't know if I said this was 1/2 inch by 5, the stripe. And so this is 3/4 of an inch by 5. And I'm seeing that I may have to adjust some things. Let's see here. I think I put this stuff a little too low. Let's see. Because I'm wanting the paper on top and bottom to have the same amount of space. Yeah, that's good. There we go. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere the apples down. And that's just going to go right on top of the striped paper. Like that. And then this flower paper, and you can see that it has this really pretty polka dot pattern on the back. This measures 1 inch by 5 3/8, and we're going to layer that down here. And I'm just making sure that the top part and the bottom part are as close to the same as possible. But then, like I said, when you don't attach it really, when you just slightly attach it to the paper, you're still able to move it around. Okay. All right, and then this, the Peekaboo Peach, I cut it, I think I said when I banner punched it, 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/2. And I'm seeing that it's not as long as I want it to be. So I'm going to show you a little tip. Instead of, especially when you're going to have a big panel covering this, instead of recutting this, I'm just going to cut this down the middle. You're never going to know, and then this can extend out. So that's a nice little tip. Because I want it to be, let's see here, I'm wanting it to cover both the Designer Series paper and the Watermelon Wonder. So like that. I don't want a seam showing. That, and then we'll do the same thing over here. So that's just a nice little tip instead of having to redo things, especially when you have something that's going to cover it up and you'll never know that it was cut in the middle unless you take the card apart, which I don't know many people who do that. Okay, so let's bring in our stamped panel. So there we go. So you can see how all the paper peeks out from underneath, and just how cute is that. Okay, let me trim off just this little bit. Okay, so you see I just used my paper trimmer and just trimmed off that little bit there, and so it's going to go like that. But we're going to add a couple of details just to give it a little bit of pop. I'm using our basic black baker's twine, and I'm going to tie, I'm going to wrap it around the panel and then tie a bow. Okay, and then just pull it. Okay, and I know I want the bow to be over here, oops, to be over here on the right, so I'm just going to scoot the whole twine over. Okay. Okay, and then I can cut the tails, and I'll probably cut them again. Okay, and so what you're going to do next is with your paper doily, you can see when I made the sample, I just cut off just a part of the doily, and then we're going to attach that to the panel. So just with your paper trimmer, you can just do that. And then I'm going to put snail on the back side of the doily, and that's going to attach to the card panel or the stamped panel. And then I'm just going to trim the excess that's hanging off. And then I'm going to move this down so it covers up the seam of where the doily's matching the cardstock. We can make the bow just a little bit smaller. Okay, and just to ensure that the bow doesn't go anywhere, I like to use a glue dot, and I'm going to fold it in half and then put it right behind the knot. And that just ensures that it doesn't come apart, doesn't slide anymore. And you can adjust it if you need to. Okay, and then I'm just going to use some dimensionals to pop this up. And I'm just putting them in all four corners and then one in the middle. And I see that my banner kind of moved a little bit. So adjust that. There we go. And just put that in the center of the card. And there we have it. So let me just cut these tails just a little bit shorter. And just a super summery, I keep wanting to say spring, but it's summertime, just a super summery card using the fresh fruit stamp set and the designer series paper that matches it. So I hope that you give this a try. Like I said, it's great, great way to get rid of your scraps, and just a fun little masking technique, just some fun techniques used in today's card. All right, guys, I hope you liked today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to head on over to istampin.com. Subscribe to my blog if you haven't to receive exclusive newsletters. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm getting close to 2,000 subscribers. I'm hoping to reach that goal by the end of August so that I can have an exciting giveaway once I reach my 2,000th subscriber mark. Also, Don't forget about Stampin' Up! Bonus days that are going through the end of July. So for every $50 that you spend, you get a $5 coupon that you will be able to use in the month of August. And then also, if you would love to join my iStampin' Club, where you get exclusive projects each month, you're a host once during a 6-month rotation, and you get free hostess dollars plus a free goodie bag worth up to $25 from me. I would love to have you join us. I have just a couple more spots. I'm hoping to get that club started in August. So if you have any questions about that, you can always comment below or reach out to me on email. Okay guys, have a fabulous Monday, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye.